No sweat, no tears and not a hint of fear. Here were Arsenal, streetwise, steely, sometimes cynical Arsenal, dethroning the 15-time kings of Europe, busting a few myths and breezing their way into a first Champions League semi-final in 16 years. 7. Arsenal beat Real Madrid 5-1 on aggregate credit, EPA.7. Gabriel Martinelli scored the winner to make it 2-1 at the Bernabeu. Credit, Getty. 7. Bukayo Saka missed a penalty early in the match but scored a crucial goal in the second half. Credit, Getty. Here was a very different performance to last week's first leg pummeling of Real Madrid, but it was every bit as impressive. Declan Rice, whose twin free kicks ignited this quarter-final at the Emirates, was dominant in midfield. Bukayo Saka netted an impudent goal after botching an early penalty. And perhaps just as impressively, there was 18-year-old Miles Lewis Skelly breaking up play with some wonderful play acting to the shrill screams of 80,000 Madridistas, giving Real a taste of their own age-old medicine. It is one of the greatest lies in football that Mikel Arteta's team are a bunch of soft lads and bottled jobs. They have been pipped for the title by Manchester City in the previous 2 seasons, and this term they have collected too many red cards and injuries to bother Liverpool. But the idea that they lack what the Spanish refer to as cojones has never been true and should be shot down completely after this clear-headed hit job inside European football's most perilous venue. Over 2 legs, this was the most significant result of Arteta's 5-year reign. Against a side which boasted 4 of the most famous attacking players on the planet, Arsenal won with a defensive midfielder, Mikel Merino, as their centre-forward. Casino Special, best casino bonuses from £10 deposits. 7. And it wasn't even close. If anything, Arsenal were guilty of overconfidence here, when Saka failed with a Panenka spot kick which could have killed the tie stone dead after 12 minutes of this return match. Crocked Real Madrid star Dani Carvajal pulled away from Bukayo Saka after confronting Arsenal star at halftime. Vinicius Jr. swiftly equalized Saka's goal midway through the second half, but at no point were Arsenal in danger of throwing away their aggregate lead. And Gabriel Martinelli applied the coup de grace with a cool finish from an Arsenal break in injury time. They will now face a Paris Saint-Germain side they have already beaten 2-0 this season, and who took a serious pounding at Villa Park on Tuesday night, believing they can reach only the second European Cup final in their history. The pre-match build-up in Madrid had all been about La Remontada, the comeback, and the slightly overblown idea that Real are experts in escapology. They haven't actually staged too many epic comebacks in the past because they haven't often needed to. They just tend to be very good, especially in this competition. Before kickoff, Real had sent out social media posts in 20 different languages, insisting that 90 minutes in the Bernabeu is a long time. It's all part of the mythology they like to build around their team, to scare the bejesus out of opponents. Arteta knew as much and took a more realistic approach. If you forgot the history, here were 2 pretty well-matched teams and Arsenal had a 3-goal head start. From the off, Arsenal didn't look in any way intimidated. Rice barged over Bellingham in the center circle, while Saka was tormenting David Alaba, who was booked early on for mowing him down. 7. Vinicius Jr. capitalized on an error from William Saliba to make the score 1-1. Credit, Getty. 7. Saka then whistled one effort across goal and had another pawed away by Courtois before his first big moment came, and went. From a Rice corner, Raul Asensio hauled down Marino and VAR intervened before ref Francois Letexier pointed to the spot. Everything pointed to Saka scoring. He'd netted 8 in a row since he last missed, against West Ham 2 years ago to the day, and he's started this match like a train. But the Panenka was an uncharacteristic act of arrogance from Saka, and Courtois stuck up a hand to push away his airy effort. Rice was struck by a missile as he took a corner, and then it looked worse for the first leg hero when, after an innocuous tangle with Mbappe as he defended a cross, Letexier pointed to the spot. There was a 4-minute delay before the referee agreed with his VAR that Mbappe had pulled a fast one, although the fact Rice had made significant contact with the Frenchman meant it hadn't looked clear and obvious either way. Rice's booking, which would have seen him banned for the first leg of the semi-final, was also rescinded. The night's most predictable moment arrived in the 36th minute when keeper David Raya was booked for time wasting. 7. But Arsenal didn't too much spoiling and housing despite its Hollywood attacking cast. This is not a vintage Real side. It is too imbalanced, it lacks control and midfield as well as true nastiness at the back. We reached half-time with Raya still utterly untroubled, and injured Real defender Dani Carvajal grabbed Saka by the back of the neck after an exchange of words with the Arsenal man pushing him away. It was a clear sign that the hosts were rattled. After the break, Rice was relishing his battle with England teammate Bellingham, including one excellent saving tackle in the box. Jacob Kiwior, supposedly Arsenal's weak link, was doing a passable impersonation of Franco Baresi, and the Gooners up in the nosebleed seats were getting out the olays. Soon, Arsenal were ahead on the night, a patient passing move ending with Marino's through ball releasing Saka, who lifted it over Courtois with sub-zero levels of cool. Real hit back almost instantly. William Saliba mugged Vinicius as he collected a pass from Raya and leathering into the net with ease. Still, we were halfway through the second half and Real were 3 goals down. And then Martinelli advanced, slotted past Courtois from an angle, as the Real left in their thousands. "Are you Tottenham in disguise?" asked the travelling fans. They weren't far wrong.